welcome to Checking Out.
Whether you're a full-fledged gearhead or someone who just kind of likes cars, this is the show for you.
In this episode, we're going to show you everything from where to find the best used parts for your new project to how to turn an old clunker into a weapon of mass destruction.
But first, let's watch as one man gives his vintage car a 21st century upgrade.
My name's John Knight. I am in the process of rebuilding a 66 Chevelle, and I'm trying to make it a street muscle car. In 2005, I bought this off the internet from Shelbyville, Kentucky. There's something about men and machines, and especially American-made muscle cars. I love working on it, and it's a lifetime project. I'll probably never see it finished, but you know, it's good working on it with my sons. My favorite thing about working on the cars is the outcome and making something that you want and not what's every day on the road. Well, modern cars aren't classics, you know. It's all American, and these new cars I call on steroids, like with their nitrous and their air injection units and stuff. This car here is all muscle, you know, it's all natural. So that's the difference between the modern cars and the old classic cars. I prefer the classics because I'm a classic. You know, there's no comparison because these modern cars have modern equipment and electronics. And these cars I can work on in my backyard without needing computers or anything like that. That's the difference between them. Trial and error, and learn through your friends. We all get together and talk about cars and what they were doing, and you learn through that. We go to car meets right now, and we can get help from each other, and if we have a problem, and come up with a solution. I made mistakes, but I don't look at the cost, you know. It's already done and gone, you know. It's a hobby, and I can put it to the side every now and then, but I love my car, you know, next to my wife, and it's, you just like to get out and drive it, and I take my yellow lab, he loves to sit in the passenger seat, and it becomes a chick magnet. So, girls always want to pet my lab. Yeah, I built a garage in my backyard, a 2-car garage, and it has a 2-story, and so that I could keep it always in the garage, keep it out of the weather, and then just go in there and tinker with it and fix some problems and see what needs to be done next. And it's my man cave, so I built it away from the house so that the noise wouldn't bother the wife. Joshua, my middle son, I have 3 of them, Christopher, Joshua, and Joseph. And Josh is the only one I have nearby, and we work on it together sometimes. And he's got projects with his cars too. He likes to race the road courses. Working is a little hard, especially the older you get, and you become restricted in what you can do, can't do. So right now, all I want to do is drive it. And if I had it to do over again, I would have started a lot earlier when I was younger and more flexible. I compare my car to my wife. I always loved the way she looked, and so that doesn't change. So it's the new cars, they have some nice ones out there that they catch your eye, but there's nothing like a good old classic.
So cool. I love to see what a little time, passion, and elbow grease can really do.
Absolutely. And when we get back, we're going to have a chat with the nice folks here at Tysinger about the latest equipment that keeps cars like these on the road.
I'm going to have to test drive that.
Stick around. We'll be right back.
It's a drivetrain lift table. Basically what it does is it enables us to increase our proficiency when we're doing major drivetrain repairs.
With Hall Rewards, the sky's the limit. Earn unlimited points with your qualifying sales, service, parts, or body shop transactions. Hall Rewards puts you in the driver's seat. Use your points for oil changes, savings on your next vehicle purchase, and more. With Hall Rewards, you decide how to use your points. Plus, get extra benefits like a 7-day exchange privilege and an extra $500 for your trade. Earn unlimited points and start saving today. Learn more at hallrewards.com.
Hall looks out for you.
Welcome back. I'm Jacob from Techin' Out, and we are here at Tysinger's Audi Hampton with Alan. How's it going?
Good, yourself?
Doing good, doing good. I am very happy to be in this awesome facility that you guys have here. This place is massive.
It is. It's very nice.
Yeah. How long have you been working here?
3 months.
3 months? Okay. So how long have you been in the auto industry? How long have you been doing this?
21 years.
21 years. Wow.
21 years. 16 years as a master tech and 21 years in dealership environment.
Okay. Okay. So what does that mean to be a master tech exactly? I imagine it takes a lot of education, a lot of learning, hands-on practice.
It does. It does. A master tech is achieved by acquiring the testing, standardized testing that they administer to gauge your skill base and abilities.
Okay.
It's a universal test system. It's basically for the customer to know that the technician that's working on the vehicle is qualified for the job.
Okay. So how long did it take you to get to that point?
5 years.
About 5 years?
Roughly 5 years.
Wow. So it's basically like, instead of going through a college program, which takes about 4 or 5 years,
Correct.
to do this instead.
Correct.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, I was in an apprenticeship program.
Okay.
It was a fast-track apprenticeship program that at the time it was a GM training school, and I would work during the day doing oil changes, and in the evening I go to Portsmouth and work and study till 9 o'clock.
Wow.
And it was a fast track. The purpose of it was to get their technicians certified, master tech certified within 5 years.
Whoa.
And I was able to achieve that.
I mean, usually that's kind of the better option to go to, and that's kind of why we highlight these occupations, because college isn't necessarily the right place, but you can do an apprenticeship program and get the same, if not better, education.
True.
So speaking of which, we are going to highlight this table we have behind us. Super awesome table you guys have. It does something special. Can you tell me about it? What it does?
It's a drivetrain lift table. Basically what it does is it enables us to increase our proficiency when we're doing major drivetrain repairs. Anytime your transmission and engine or either one has to be removed from the vehicle, our new products now have what they call subframes, whereas the older vehicles would have a unified frame. We now have smaller sections that can be removed, and it's good for manufacturing purposes, and it's also good for repair purposes. So what this table does is it hones in on that ability to disassemble a vehicle in a quicker manner, in a faster manner.
And you said it's customized to fit pretty much any car, right?
Yes, it can. This one we have in particular is geared towards the Audis. However, most of your modern vehicles, if you ever look at the assembly line through the manufacturer, they perform a technique called marriage. So what they do is they take the drivetrain and chassis and assemble it on one line, and the body will come in from another line, and then at that point they would marry the two by lowering the body onto the chassis and drivetrain. So we do just the opposite.
So I imagine that speeds up your overall process by like 400%, 500%, or
it's pretty fast.
Save hours, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
Wow.
It's a miracle.
And must be pretty pricey.
It is. It's about $10,000.
$10,000
for a table such as this one.
Okay.
Yeah.
But in the scheme of things, hourly, I'm sure it makes up for, you save the money in that.
You could probably pay yourself back within 15 jobs, 15 repairs.
And that's like a day's service, I'm sure, in a place this size.
Sure.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you so much for talking to me today about your profession.
Thank you for having me on.
So from supercars to super savings, when we come up next, we're going to be talking about how we can save money on used parts for your current project or new car. Stay tuned.
It's really simple. If you wreck your car, or if a car, something breaks and you know what it is, you call up, tell us what you need, come out, and you have two choices. You either pull it yourself or you can have us do it. It's that simple.
You can trust your car for all your service needs at Tysinger's Mercedes-Benz of Hampton because we've got some of the finest technicians.
Tysinger's technicians work on some of the world's best automotive brands in a state-of-the-art facility, and you can be a part of it. Tysinger is looking for talented technicians to join their award-winning service team. Tysinger offers a clearly defined career path with a very competitive starting wage, plus online live instructor and hands-on training. For more information, call or visit Tysinger.com today.
Kaylin, as someone who's always working on her car, how important is it to be able to source the best used parts?
I can't even tell you how big of a deal that is. Bad used parts mean money out of my pocket and frustration on the racetrack. Thankfully, Always Used Auto Parts has you covered, whether you're an adrenaline junkie like me or just someone who needs to get from point A to point B.
My name is Robert Perrone, and we are at Always Used Auto Parts in Chesapeake, Virginia. It's a place where people come and find great deals on used auto parts. A lot of times it's factory parts instead of the rebuilt parts from aftermarket places. I've been around cars pretty much all my life. When I was younger, my uncle owned a body shop. I worked in a body shop with him. That gave me the knowledge, the general knowledge I have of cars. It's nearly 12 acres, and there's approximately 12 to 1,500 cars here. We do the best we can to sort them in categories by manufacturer and type of vehicle, front-wheel drive, rear-wheel drive. It's really simple. If you wreck your car, or if a car, something breaks and you know what it is, you call up, tell us what you need, come out, and you have two choices. You either pull it yourself or you can have us do it. It's that simple.
The first time I came here to Always Auto Parts, it was 8 or 9 years ago. So I restore cars. It's kind of a hobby. And I find that a lot of the stuff here I can use. I prefer coming here than going to the auto parts stores or whatever because the parts are usually factory parts. They're better made. They have a better fit and finish. And you can get a really good deal.
It's really been set up the same way from the time we started by manufacturer and pretty much front wheel, rear wheel drive when we can. So when they come in, they pretty much know what they're looking for and know what area right to go to.
You know, it's important to work with a salvage yard like you would your doctor if you're in this kind of business. If you restore cars or work on cars a lot, you want to have a good relationship with the person you're buying your parts from. And I just like coming out here. It's kind of therapeutic to walk through the salvage yard and look at all the cars, and I find a lot of parts I need right here. And a lot of parts you can't buy at the auto parts store. Like today, I'm here to get a windshield wiper arm for a 1996 Jeep Cherokee. You can't get that at an auto parts store. You only get it here.
That's it right here. That's what I need.
When you're here selling the parts, you really get familiar with what's wrong with vehicles and what's most common with them. So when someone's coming in looking for a particular part, we can always advise them that most of the time that doesn't go bad. It could be something else. So that's what you get here as well, beside just coming and buying the part. You get a little bit of experience and our knowledge of what to get. So when you first come in, you'll come to the front office, tell us what you're looking for, and we'll direct you where to go. So as you continue back, you'll see cars that are laid out just in aisles by manufacturer. And then you'll walk past an area on your way back with blue containers that we have isolated from customers where we do the car crushing and processing for them to go out into the field. Once they're out in the field, they're fair game for anyone to come out and pull any part that they want or request us to pull a part. The crusher handles up to 4 cars at once. We generally keep it between 3 and 4, and it really is dependent upon the size of the vehicle. So you couldn't do 4 full-size vans in there. It would have to be a mix of what the cars are, and especially if the engine's removed, not removed. It's all relative to how flat the car is going to get and how many you can put in it. And also it's relevant to the capacity of what the machine can pick up out of the crusher.
I've always had a love of cars. I remember one of the first pieces of art I drew in the first grade was a race car. I wanted to be a car salesman or a fireman, so I guess I was born with cars in my blood. When I come through here, it's kind of like when the explorers went down on the Titanic. You'll walk up on a car and who knows what you may find. There's some great deals to be had out here.
Jacob, I can't believe how many cars we've gotten to see here today. I mean, I can imagine driving this down a racetrack.
Me too. And speaking of racetracks, when we get back from break, we're going to take a trip to Langley Speedway for their annual Day of Destruction. But you're not going to find any high-end roadsters or Formula One monsters there, though. Stay tuned.
Today, we'll have over probably 60 to 70 cars, once it's all said and done, entered in the day's events.
Welcome back to Teching Out. Kaylin, we have seen some amazing things here today, from restorations and used parts to crazy awesome cars here at Tysinger.
Yes, and we've saved the best thing for last. Do you know what this is?
A piece of crap?
No, this is an instrument of destruction.
So today is going to be our 14th annual Day of Destruction. This is the great way that we start our season off. So we gather up as much cruddy cars as we can. We destroy them, we bang and beat them. We try to think of all of these different creative ways that we can destroy cars. Anybody can come. You know, obviously we have an age limit of who can participate, but otherwise anybody can enter. It's one of our most participated events of the year driver-wise. Today we'll have over probably 60 to 70 cars, once it's all said and done, entered in the day's events.
Well, I've been out here since I'd say about 2003 doing the regular racing season, so I actually look forward to coming out here to the Day of Destruction. It lets us get out our anger from the regular racing season, so it's a good rush, good adrenaline rush.
We just did appliance race. Pretty much you gotta complete a lap and then put 4 washing machine, refrigerator type appliances into the car, and you can't lose one without it falling off the car and make it back to the line first.
My name's Danny Harrell, and I'm won the appliance race. That's 5 times back to back. I'm a veteran out here. I've been out here since 1995. I've been very fortunate, knock on wood. The CarMaster car survived 3 Enduros, and I won all 3.
We have our big 50-lap Enduro race, which is just straight up 50 laps, 1,000 to win, anything goes. If a car breaks down or wrecks in the race, we actually just throw a red flag for it, take the driver out of the car, and then leave the car, debris, or anything on the track. So by the end of the race, we've got probably 20 or 30 cars just scattered across the whole place as everyone else tries to weave their way through.
You just gotta survive. You know, it's hard to survive with about 60 cars out there. When they leave it, they got the soap barrels out there, and man, it's a 4-wheel slide all the time.
People always love to see something get torn up. You wreck a race car on a normal night, That's usually a pretty expensive ordeal, but out here, it's just all good fun. And this is always kind of a good way to bring out those race fans and also maybe some new fans who have never come out here before.
I just did the blindfold race, the bag race, I guess is what you call it. I was the one giving the instructions. I don't know who was more terrified, me or him, but we did it.
You have to try to figure out what's your left and your right and what's straight on your steering wheel.
Go, left, left, left. Let's go.
When I told him to go straight, he turned the steering wheel to the right. When I told him to go right, he turned the steering wheel to the left. So it was kind of hectic, but it was a fun time.
And then, of course, we end the night with around 2 demolition derbies. We'll actually put them on the front stretch. We'll kind of box them in. Usually around 8 or 10 will be in one derby. And then it's just survival of the fittest. They just beat and bang until one's left running.
I got completely blindsided. I had no idea that it was coming. It's always weird getting hit when you're not expecting it. Like when you know it's coming, you can tense up a little bit. But when you're just limp like a rag doll in the car, it's I don't know, an uneasy feeling. What we love to do, turn cars into junk.
I tell you, if it weren't for Langley Speedway out here, we wouldn't have this much fun.
So what do you think about that piece of crap now?
That was the most amazing thing I've ever seen. You and I should enter in next year.
Okay, but you gotta wear the bag.
Deal.
Well, that wraps it up for another episode of Tech and Out. Find us online at techandout.tv and yourview.com. Also, check out our new Facebook page to stay up to date on the latest episodes and behind-the-scenes content.
Until next time, keep your foot on the gas and your eyes on the road.